18 months ago, my body was hit again. And this time, it started with a severe concussion that kept me in the house for 5 months. I couldn't leave. It was very challenging. Then I had a kidney stone surgery. That in itself was challenging, and I wasn't even healed from that. Just a few weeks later, I had a heart attack. Having not really been healed from that, shingles, then COVID, then shingles again. Then I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. I had the tools. I have 40 years of knowledge. And believe me, I used every single one of them as I moved forth. The 18-month cascade didn't announce itself. It just kept coming. The severe concussion, it's the kind where light hurts and words don't work. And my only safe space was one small room in my home with dark curtains. My home is full of light, full of windows, full of beauty that I can normally look at. And at that time, there was no way I could come out to see it and enjoy it. The kidney stone surgery was actually something because there was just unidentified pain, just pain that I couldn't figure out and didn't make sense. And I'm pretty good at listening to my body. Went to many a doctor, and they found very large kidney stones up in my kidneys and decided that was the reason my sides were hurting so dramatically, I guess is the best word to describe it. It got to the point where I was trying to get pain medication every few days because I couldn't handle the pain, and I can handle an awful lot of pain. And with that, I got different shots to help me get through the day. But I knew that something was really wrong if I couldn't control it. And what that meant was there was something else that needed to be worked on, looked at. Something else had to happen. But for some reason, I was detached. Couldn't figure it out. A few weeks later, a heart attack ensued. I can tell you I had a tiny warning walking through the hall at work. I found my hand on my chest and I thought, my goodness, that's not good. But I kept moving. I had things to do. I had things to prepare for, etc. I went to my doctor the very next day, and I happened to mention it to him, and he said, I'd like to call an ambulance right now. And I said, I can't. I don't have time. And he said, you don't understand. I want to call an ambulance for you right now. And I said, deep in my heart, I said, I don't feel like I need to go to the hospital at this moment. And he quieted, and he said, I feel the same way. And the ambulance was not called. But unbeknownst to me, he called his friend, a cardiologist, and they made me agree to show up Tuesday morning at the hospital. And I said, okay. I said, I'll go. And Tuesday morning, I show up at the hospital, getting choked up thinking about it. I show up at the hospital. I told them my doctors insisted that I come. They asked me my symptoms. They took me back, and I was actually having a heart attack right then and there. Still kind of choked up by that one. If I'd have said, oh, forget it, I'm not going to be at the hospital on Tuesday morning. I don't need to be. I don't think I'd be here today. Doctors barely know me. Picked a random day and time, asked me to show up. My intuition said go, and thank God I did. It stopped the heart attack from doing too much damage. My heart was 99.9% blocked, as the cardiologist said to me. And he said, I couldn't have been more lucky. And he even kissed me on the forehead. Never met the guy before, but he was so happy that I survived. Following the intuition on going to the hospital. So even fighting with the universe, saying, I'm fine, I still got there by listening. Months after the heart attack, I had an echocardiogram, and my heart looked so good that my doctor said to me, it looks better than before the heart attack. And I said, how often does that happen? And he chuckled, and he looked at me as I'm laying on the table, and he said to me, Diana, you're a healer. And we both started laughing, but the heart improved that much. And we celebrated that. Then shingles. For those of you who haven't had shingles, it's a very hard thing to describe. It's nerve pain layered on nerve pain, and I already had a defective neurological system, I guess you'd call it, since getting electrocuted. So the pain for me was unusual. I could handle it because I'm used to handling nerve pain, but it went kind of beyond that, wore me out. Then COVID hit me. I was much more worn out, very, very tired. The body was already depleted, and it just took more out of me. Then, believe it or not, I got shingles again. And all through this, the pain that was originally on my side never did go away. One that we thought was the kidney stones. So through all of this, I'm still doing my regular work with clients, and I'm also doing some other businesses that I'm very involved in. And at one of the events, it happened to be in Indianapolis actually, I felt so strange, I couldn't describe it. I couldn't really pick up anything except go home. And keep in mind that's a many-hour drive, and I had already set myself up to have a good night's sleep, and I keep hearing, go home. And the pain in my side got so bad that I couldn't even lay on it. I was going to be up all night with pain. I could tell it was the kind of pain that was telling me something desperate. So, unable to even pick things up, I kind of drug things to my car, one or two at a time. And I got everything in, and I started driving home. I could manage to control the pain long enough to get myself home. I looked at my husband. It was very late at night, probably close to 12. And I said, I'm going to the hospital. And he said, what in the world for? I said, I have to go to the hospital. And I did. And without a lot of details, I heard the words that you never really want to hear. Stage 4 anything. There were months and months of incredibly excruciating bone pain. It felt so bad. It was as if you had kidney stones and labor pains all at once on top of each other. It was the kind of pain that makes you ask, is this the one? Is this the one that's going to take me out? Is this it? I didn't really get an answer. But I knew I had to work with great difficulty, with great faith, and a lot of help besides myself to get through this. I knew that prayer was very important. I knew that my family would be pitching in because they had to. I knew that I could not do this on my own. And I asked everyone that I possibly ran into for some prayers. And within the first few months of excruciating pain started to diminish. After a near overdose from one hospital, found another hospital to treat, and things started looking better. And at the last PET scan I've had, all the cancer that was in the bones was gone. I got back up again and walked. Here's the thing about surviving an electrocution, a heart attack, diagnosis of stage 4 cancer. I haven't just been collecting tools to use with clients. I tested each and every one. I connected with the heavens and reached out in ways and shapes and forms with complete openness. And I got new ways to work, to be, to heal that were never offered in a book in any way, shape, or form. I tested, and the ones from the heavens worked without a problem. The ones I found in books and things helped a bit. They helped partially. And when your life depends on healing, it's really more important than ever to be open and able to use tools that you've used before, tools that are new. I knew that God would let me leave if I wanted. But this time I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay so badly. If there's pain, if there's tension, if there's some kind of illness, something's trying to talk to you. I've researched what in the world got me into all these different things, and with a lot of clarity, I understand a lot of why these things happened. And it wasn't just because I didn't go to the gym or something so simple and three-dimensional. Any tension, any imprints of illnesses, any imprints of thoughts that could be harmful sometimes will latch on and hide in the subconscious. And the soul will keep trying to push them out. And sometimes they come in the form of work issues, money issues. They come with something that will cause a pain of some kind. And when that pain happens, nobody wants to be in pain. That's usually when the body starts making it very obvious if you really need to shift something. And when pain happens, people start looking for answers. They start looking what's going on and how can they move it. The thing that most people miss is that a lot of this is not just a physical thing. Sometimes you need healing from many modalities that are usually not even thought of. Sometimes it's just one. It depends on where you're at in your healing journey and whatever lessons God has for you to enjoy so that you can enjoy even more. And I know I've died and come back, but I'm back, smiling, and ready to teach, share. So this is the beginning of sharing something that I've been using myself and with clients for 40 years. And if you need guidance and assistance with blocks or clearing old issues, whether they be painful, emotionally, spiritually, physically, please like and subscribe. There's going to be more episodes with healing methods to come.